Okay, I got a quick tip for you guys today, and it's on Ford 500s and Mercury Montegos, Ford Freestyles, all the same model, just different versions of it, variations. And what it has to do with is having poor AC performance just about any time, and especially during low RPM city driving. So basically, if you're driving down the road, highway, constant speed, your RPMs be up a little bit, and the AC works just great, and you're like, this is great, and then you start doing stop and go traffic, and you start having very, very poor AC performance, almost like it shut off, basically. On the back side of these, there's an actual refrigerant control valve in them that controls the high side and low side between the two of them. So when it gets stuck in there, the pressure is basically equalized, so therefore you don't have a high side, you don't have a low side, and you can't get that pressure drop, and then of course you can't have the pressure and the temperature are relative. So if you can't get that pressure drop down to 25, 35 psi, somewhere in that variation, that range right there, you're never going to cool off the evap, and then the air passing through it's never going to get cooled off either. Now luckily for you guys, there is a company out there, website anyways, that Tech Choice Parts, something like that, I'll put a link in the description, that actually makes the valves separately so you can fix it yourself. The bad part is you must recover the refrigerant in there first, or else it's going to blow out in your face. So if you don't have the equipment for that, you're still going to have to go to a shop and have them evac and recharge it for you. What you can do, what I would do, is buy the part and bring it to the shop that's going to do the evac and recharge, and just have them pop it in real quick. And I'm going to show you how it works and where it goes and how easy it is to put it in, as long as the refrigerant is evacuated from the system. And I got a compressor. It's out of the car right now, so I can show you in better detail. And if you need to know where the valve is and the back plate is and the compressor is in the car, I also have a video on replacing the compressors in these cars for the housing leaks, where they actually leak from the housing seals and lose the refrigerant and oil. So you can reference from that video. So if you do have access to a gauge set, you may notice that the pressures are just about equal. There's no actual high and low side. You may also notice that both sides are low, even when the compressor's on. And that's an indication that this valve is sticking also, and they get stuck from like sealants and just garbage floating around in the system, and it all gets stuck in that valve, and then it's not moving accordingly to the pressures in the system, and it'll hold one pressure. Okay, so we're going to go over to the compressor now, and I'm going to pull it out of there, and I'm going to show you just how it looks and where it's located on the compressor, so you can change it yourself if you're so inclined and you have the proper recovery equipment, to suck it down before you take off that back plate. Okay, so here's the compressor, and this is how it is on the car. You got your pulleys and your belts right here on the front of the engine, and then you're going to have your bolts going right into here, and then this will face up just like this, and your manifold for the lines will bolt on right there. So right behind it is the actual plate that holds that valve on. Okay, so once again, after you have recovered the refrigerant, you are safe to take this plate off. These are two 10mm bolts. And it's going to pop out of there a little bit. It's got a little bit of a spring behind it. And there is a gasket right here. You probably don't have to change this, but that's how it looks, and they may include it with the valve. They should include with the valve. And then here's the actual valve, and it literally just slides out of here nice and easy. And all the internal valving is inside of here, and then it uses spring pressure to locate its position based on the pressure in the system. So if this thing is sticking and it's got debris inside of there, it's definitely not going to work right. And then your AC system is going to have basically odd pressures, erratic pressures, and it's definitely not going to work right because they need that pressure drop across the TXV in this particular system. So once the valve is out, just make sure you clean inside of here with a clean, lint-free rag, and try to get any debris you may see in there out. And then the actual outside here. And then the new one does not come with a spring from what I've seen, so you have to transfer a spring over, and that just twists off of there. You can transfer it. You can see the valve a little better now. And this little valve right here, which I don't think the cost of the part is too much. The valve is currently $30, and I don't know what shipping and taxes for your area, but $30 and evac and recharge is not too bad to get your AC system back up and running. This is very, very common, and we see this and the actual housing seal leaks, where the actual piece, where the different pieces meet on here, leaking like this one is. You can see it all in here. That's the other common issue, and that'll leak refrigerant and oil. So if you have poor AC performance on a Montego 500 Freestyle, the two areas you want to check into is this scroll valve and then those housing leaks. Those are the absolute most common problems on these, and I've never fixed anything else on them for AC performance except for these two issues. So it's worth taking a look. If you don't have the housing leak and you lost the refrigerant, then you most likely have this scroll valve that's going out on you. It's sticking in there, and it's not the actual proper position in there and regulating the pressure just right for the system to work properly. So once you get the new one, just pop back in there, put your O-ring in there, obviously. I'm just putting this one back together. This is a junk compressor. And then we're just going to bolt it back up. Start your bolts by hand. Because you want this sealing evenly with all that pressure. Okay, then by hand, just give it a little push on there. And then we're going to tighten them evenly. And just hand tight is just fine, and there is plenty of room right behind this area in car to do this. It's not hard at all. There's no special tools required at all, just as long as the system's evac. Okay, so that's about it. I just want to go over it so that it helps out a little bit with the owners of the 500s and all that. I know there's not a lot of information out there on these in general, so I figured I'd do a video on it because I'm starting to see it already. They're getting AC complaints already, and it's still 67 degrees here, so AC season is upon us, and I'll be doing a lot of AC videos, I'm sure, as people find out their AC's not working after a harsh winter we had. So if you got any questions, just leave a comment down below, and I'm on there a couple times a day at least to respond to comments. So if you got an AC concern or something like that with your 500 or Montego, that kind of vehicle, you think it's this scroll valve, you want to ask a question first, go ahead, and I usually answer within a day or so to help you guys out, because this is such a, it even shops. I've even seen on our Ford boards, dealer technicians, they start throwing compressors at it because they see low pressures on both sides. You got to know the brand, I guess, and you got to know what the faults are. So a lot of places misdiagnose this, and I want to help out.